Sarah had grown used to silence. It had been 2 years since her fiancé, Daniel, mysteriously disappeared without a trace. No body, no clues, just gone. She spent months drowning in grief, but eventually, life had to go on. Or at least, that's what she told herself. Before we dive into today's story, click to subscribe to this channel. Write your moral lesson in the comment section. Like and share to your loved ones. Then one day, she found a letter. It was sitting in her mailbox, written on aged parchment, sealed with red wax. The handwriting was elegant, familiar yet foreign. My dear Sarah, you are as beautiful as the day I lost you, but you are not lost to me. Not anymore. We will be together again soon. Forever. There was no sender, no return address. Just one name at the bottom. Stephen. Sarah didn't know any Stephen. At first, she thought it was a mistake or a sick joke, but the letters kept coming. Each one was more intimate, more hauntingly precise about her life. Her morning coffee routine, the way she hummed when she worked, her fear of thunderstorms. Whoever this was, he knew her in ways no stranger should. And then one night, she found a gift on her doorstep, a silver ring inside a velvet box. Engraved inside were the words, "Forever." A chill ran down her spine. The letters didn't stop. They began appearing inside her home, on her pillow, in her locked car. She started feeling watched, her skin crawling at the thought of unseen eyes in the dark. Then the whispers began. Late at night, as she lay in bed, she heard them, a hushed voice near her ear, murmuring softly, "You're mine, Sarah, always mine." She would turn on the lights, search her empty apartment. But nothing was ever there. Then came the dreams. In them, she stood in a darkened room with no doors, only mirrors. A man stood behind her, his face obscured, his cold fingers tracing her shoulders. When she turned to see him, she always woke up gasping for air. Determined to uncover the truth, Sarah sought help from a private investigator, Mark. Together, they traced the letters, but they led to dead ends. No fingerprints. No records of a Stephen connected to her past. Sarah confided in her best friend, Lisa, hoping for some clarity. What if this Stephen is someone from my past? Someone I forgot? Lisa hesitated. Sarah, are you sure you want to find out? Some things are better left buried. Then one night, she heard knocking at her door. When she opened it, she found a single red rose. Attached to it was a note. "Meet me where our love began." Her breath caught. She hadn't heard those words since. Daniel. Her heart pounded as she realized something horrifying. Stephen wasn't a stranger. He was someone she once loved. But Daniel was dead. Wasn't he? Sarah decided to follow the note. It led her to a secluded lakeside cabin, the same place she and Daniel had visited every summer. When she arrived, the cabin was already prepared. Candles flickered. Her favorite wine was uncorked, and a familiar song played softly in the background. A letter sat waiting for her on the bed. "Welcome home, my love. You came back to me. Now we can finally be together." The air in the room grew cold. The candlelight flickered violently. Sarah's breath came in shallow gasps. And then she saw it, a figure standing in the corner of the room, shrouded in shadows. Sarah tried to run, but the door slammed shut on its own. A voice whispered from the darkness. "You left me, Sarah, but I never left you." The figure stepped forward, and Sarah gasped in horror. It was Daniel, but his skin was pallid, his eyes sunken, his face gaunt. He looked just as he had in her dreams. "You died," she stammered. "You're not real. I never left you. You left me. I waited, and now I brought you home." Tears streamed down Sarah's face. It had always been him. He had been reaching out, finding ways to bring her back. But something was wrong. He wasn't just Daniel anymore. He was something darker, something that refused to let go. "Come to me, Sarah," Daniel whispered. His arms stretched out, but his fingers were unnaturally long, twisting like roots. Sarah backed away. "You're not him. Not anymore." His voice grew pained. "I loved you. I still love you. And if I can't have you..." The room shook violently. The windows shattered. The walls groaned like they were alive. Sarah had one choice: stay with the ghost of the man she once loved or fight for her life. With the last ounce of her strength, she grabbed the silver ring he had given her and hurled it into the fireplace. The moment the flames consumed it, Daniel let out an anguished scream. The cabin trembled as the shadows dissolved, and with one final, heart-wrenching cry, Daniel was gone. Sarah woke outside, lying on the damp forest floor. The cabin was gone, as if it had never existed. Stumbling to her car, she tried to breathe, to convince herself it was over, but as she reached for the door handle, her blood ran cold. On the windshield, written in the condensation, were 2 words: "Love you." And when she looked down at her hand, the silver ring had returned to her finger. Love never dies, and some love refuses to let go. Moral lesson: the power of closure and communication. Love is strong, but unhealthy attachments can become haunting obsessions. Sarah never fully processed her grief, and in the silence, something darker took root. True love should never trap or consume. It should allow room to heal and move forward. Had Sarah and Daniel communicated their fears and struggles before his disappearance, perhaps his spirit wouldn't have been bound by regret. In love, communication, and closure are vital. Without them, even love can become a curse. Have you subscribed? If yes, congratulations, you're growing every day.